So, here's the wild part. Buckingham Palace didn't just leak a rumor or issue a vague statement. They dropped what's being called final proof, official documentation that throws Archie and Leet's royal status into full-blown crisis mode. We're not talking about a minor clerical update or some behind-the-scenes adjustment. This is a legal and symbolic strike. And the message, the monarchy has made up its mind. Let's rewind to why this even matters. From day one, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's kids were a mystery box. No royal photos, no public records that lined up smoothly, and a lot of weirdness around their births. People questioned the lack of transparency, but Meghan always spun it as a privacy choice. But now, insiders are saying that choice might have been a smokescreen, and the palace was never fully convinced. Here's where things got messy. When Archie was born, his birth certificate got changed months later. Meghan removed her real first names, Rachel Meghan, and replaced them with her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. Now, that's not something people just do casually. That kind of edit set off major red flags. Meghan tried to say it was the palace's idea, but palace aides shot that down immediately. So, then the question became, why make the change at all? That little paperwork tweak is where the conspiracy theories took root. Was she trying to rewrite the narrative, hide something, or reposition her role legally in case of a fallout? Whatever the reason, it planted a seed of doubt that's only grown over time. Then came Lilibet, born in 2021, and everything just exploded. No UK hospital photos, no official baby pics, no in-person confirmation from the royal household. Meghan's team just dropped a press release from sunny California, saying the baby was born, and everything was perfect, but the timeline didn't add up. People compared her bump from Zoom appearances to actual paparazzi shots, and they weren't lining up. Some even claimed the belly was changing shape and size. Now, pause for a second. This is the royal family we're talking about. Births aren't just personal milestones. They're national events. Everything is documented, confirmed, and archived with military precision. And yet, Meghan and Harry's version of events fell off. Insiders say the palace tried to stay quiet. For years, they ignored the rumors. SGY talk, titled drama. Even the Oprah interview, they let it all slide. But behind those palace walls, something was brewing. Now, fast forward to today. The final proof is out, and from what sources are saying, it's damning. The kids' legitimacy under the monarchy's rules is being questioned. The basis that 1917 letters patent. The law that says who gets titles like prince and princess has strict guidelines. Bloodline, legitimacy, and being born under royal supervision are all part of it. And if those standards weren't met, the titles don't apply. This isn't about petty revenge. It's about constitutional order. The palace isn't just reacting to a personal feud. They're drawing a hard line to protect the institution. Meghan wanted to play the long game, position her kids as modern royals while staying in California, cashing in on the titles and selling the fairy tale. But the crown's patience has run out. And Prince Harry, he's panicking. Sources say he's been making late-night calls to senior royals, begging to explain. But it might be too late, because this isn't about personal feelings anymore. It's about legacy, lineage, and control. The monarchy has chosen order over drama. And Meghan's entire brand built around being a royal mom is now dangling by a thread. Inside Buckingham Palace, the wheels are already turning. Legal teams are preparing documents that would officially strip Archie and Lily of their royal status, titles, privileges, protections, all of it. The final proof, whatever form it takes, has given the monarchy the green light to act. And this time, there's no coming back. This isn't temporary. It's meant to be permanent. The implications are massive. We're talking about wiping these kids off the official royal ledger. No prince, no princess, no spot in the pecking order, no state-funded security, No ceremonial roles, no expectation of future duties, just names without titles. And for Meghan, that's not just a political blow. It's a full-on identity crisis. Her entire image has been built around being a royal mother. From Netflix specials to lifestyle brands to glossy interviews, the underlying theme has always been the same. This woman married into the monarchy, and her children are heirs to that legacy. But if the palace moves forward with this action, that narrative collapses overnight. And the timing couldn't be worse. Meghan recently tried to rebrand with American Riviera Orchard. Her soft launch into the domestic goddess world, jam jars, garden photos, pastel filters, everything picture perfect. But critics immediately pointed out the irony. While Meghan posted about roses and organic fruit, palace officials were preparing to drop a constitutional hammer on her children's future. Sources close to the crown say this wasn't some emotional retaliation. King Charles had been gathering intel for months, if not years, after Meghan and Harry went public with accusations of racism, neglect, and manipulation. The palace didn't fire back. They just took notes. They waited. They documented. And now they've decided the best response is not to argue, but to act. And it gets deeper. Questions are now swirling around Leet's christening. Meghan claimed it happened in California, and that royal reps were present. But new reports suggest the event wasn't registered with the Church of England. No official record, no confirmation. And that's a problem, because christenings aren't just photo ops. They're part of the royal rite of passage. They link the children to the church, to the crown, and to royal tradition. Without that link, the children's claim weakens further, and palace insiders say Meghan's attempt to control the ceremony may have actually backfired. Instead of securing her daughter's place, it raised even more questions about legitimacy and protocol. Meanwhile, Harry's inner circle says he's been blindsided. He thought the worst was behind him after the Oprah interview and the Netflix documentary. But now he's facing the brutal reality that his children may never be recognized by the monarchy he was born into, and his panic shows. One insider revealed that Harry recently made an emotional plea to senior family members, asking for time to explain, to clarify, to defend. But the response was cold. This is not about emotion. One palace aide reportedly said, "This is about order, this is about lineage, and this is about protecting the future of the crown." For years, Meghan and Harry believed they could live outside the system while still benefiting from its power. Titles without duties, fame without scrutiny, royal status without royal structure. But the monarchy doesn't operate that way. There are rules, there are consequences, and now they're feeling them in full force. And while Meghan's PR team scrambles to paint a picture of peace and normalcy, insiders say the writing's on the wall. The crown has made its move, and it's not backing down. Meghan's team has kicked into overdrive, flooding social media with curated moments meant to distract and soften the impact. There are cheerful family clips, filtered portraits of Archie and Lily, and carefully timed updates on her wellness brain. But behind the scenes, panic is setting in. The PR playbook that once turned headlines around isn't working anymore. The narrative is no longer in her hands. It's in the crown's. Royal aides aren't leaking anonymous tips or exchanging barbs through tabloids. They're filing paperwork. They're meeting with constitutional advisors. They're rewriting history through protocol. And what's about to happen may be unprecedented. Once the HR status is formally revoked from Meghan and Harry's children, it won't just affect how people refer to them. It'll reshape their legal identity within the institution of the monarchy. Insiders say Charles isn't angry, he's resolute. He sees this moment as critical to preserving the monarchy's integrity. For too long, the palace played defense, absorbing blow after blow from Meghan and Harry's media machine. Now it's taking a surgical approach, precise, quiet, and irreversible. There won't be a public spectacle. There will be royal statements, legal confirmations, and the cold finality of being removed from the line of succession in all but name. The titles Prince Archie and Princess Elizabeth were the final thread connecting the Sussex family to the royal machine. Once gone, Meghan and Harry are simply global celebrities, not working royals. That shift matters. It means no entitlement to state events, no presence in official royal communications, no funded security for their children abroad, and most critically, no leverage. Because let's face it, without royal titles, the brand loses its mystique. The book deals, the documentaries, the interviews, they've all leaned on one unspoken selling point: access to royalty. Meghan wasn't just another Hollywood actress with a story. She was a duchess. Her children were little royals. And now that identity is evaporating, there's also the financial impact. Meghan and Harry's entire post-royal income strategy have been about monetizing their royal experience. But the palace's move forces them into a new lane, one where they're not insiders anymore, but outsiders looking in. The difference is subtle but massive. It affects how they're perceived in boardrooms, on red carpets, and in the press. And while Meghan is scrambling to pivot, Harry is spiraling. Sources close to him say he feels like he's watching his legacy disintegrate, not just his kid's future, but his own place in the world story. He walked away thinking he could keep one foot in and one foot out, that he could be a royal rebel and a royal father at the same time. But the palace has shut that door. There's a finality to it now, a silent curtain drop, not through scandal, not through exile, but through constitutional correction. The monarchy is essentially saying, if you're going to live outside the system, you don't get to write your own version of it. And Meghan, she's out of moves. The California brand can't mask what's being lost. No number of lifestyle launches or carefully posed photos can replace what titles gave her. Instant credibility, elite access, historical gravitas. That's all slipping away. For the crown, this is about drawing the line. For Meghan, it's about watching the empire she crafted wither under the weight of facts. And for Harry, it's a brutal wake-up call because in the end, the monarchy didn't need to raise its voice. It just needed to raise its pen.